Hey guys, welcome to Budget Bassin 365, where we'll teach you all the tips and tricks you need to catch more fish. And more fish means more fun. Alright guys, in today's video, we're going to go over my 3 favorite lures for summertime bass fishing. I'm going to show you how to rig these 3 lures, and I'm also going to explain how to fish them in depth so you can get more fish on your stringer the next time you go out. The first lure we're going to talk about is the frog. This first one here is more your walking type frog. See how its nose is pointed and comes up this way? This is better for that walking presentation. And if you noticed, I've cut the legs off the back a little bit in comparison to this frog for the reason of short strikes. A lot of the times the bass will come up out of the water and just strike at the legs and you'll miss. But if you cut a little bit off, you've got a better chance of that hook set. The second frog we're going to talk about is a popping frog. If you'll notice up here it's all hollowed out, this will make a splash water and give it more of a popping sensation when you move it across the water. You can still walk this, but this comes in especially handy when you're trying to keep the bait in one spot and don't want to move too far, as it's got kind of a back pressure because of this little divot here. The third type of frog we're going to talk about is a whopper plopper frog. This one has the little legs here that as you pull the bait through the water, they spin. You can also walk this frog or kind of set it in one place and just kind of barely tug on it and get these legs moving a little bit. You want to fish a frog when you come into situations of heavy cover or heavy moss where you can't get any other bait in the water, you're going to get snagged. So lily pads, grass mats, anything of that nature is where you're going to want to fish a frog. Okay guys, when you're fishing a frog, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is fishing it too fast. The best way to fish a frog is to slowly work it back to you through the strike zone with slow pops of the rod, with the rod tip close to the ground and with a slack line. This is what will give that frog that walking action back to you that is a good presentation to catch bass. Alright, the second presentation we're going to talk about is the Texas rig. To do the Texas rig, we're going to start out with a worm hook, something similar to this, with this offset right here. First thing you're going to do is get a bullet weight, either tungsten or lead, whatever your preference is, and you're going to put that on your line, followed by the hook. And the way to put the worm on the hook is start in the head, come just a little ways in, and then poke the hook out. You're going to push the worm all the way up onto the offset, come back here and find about where that hook should be coming through, pierce the worm up through the body, and then just take the tip of the hook right here and stick it right into the plastic like that. And that is the Texas rig. And in some cases, if you're using a critter or some kind of other bug bait plastic on your Texas rig, you're going to want to run an extra wide gap hook for the purpose of this plastic being thicker, and when the bass bites down and depresses, it's got more room for the plastic to move to get a good hook set. When you're out on the water and you're fishing your Texas rig and you're using either a ribbon tail worm or something like a creature bait, you want to fish with your rod tip about at the 10 o'clock position. And you don't want to use your reel to work the bait, you want to use your rod. So what you want to do is reel down your line and slowly lift your rod up, dragging the bait across the bottom. Almost like you're just trying to count the rocks on the bottom of the lake. And doing that, instead of working it really fast, will get you more strikes. Another tip is as you're working it across the bottom, every now and then, just give it a little hop. Not very many, just maybe 2, maybe 3. And then go back to slowly dragging it on the bottom. Use this, and I promise you, you're going to catch more bass on your Texas rig. Okay, the third presentation I'm going to talk about is called the wacky rig. For this, you're going to need a weedless finesse hook. This is a size 2. It's got the little weed guard here. And you're also going to need a Senko style plastic. Right here I have my 4 favorite colors laid out. I've got watermelon red sparkle, black and blue, bream, and Junebug. Using these 4 colors, you should be able to fish nearly any watercolor and condition. The way we're going to rig this up, you're going to take your hook right here, and you're going to take your Senko, and you're going to find right here the smooth spot called the egg sac. You're going to find the back of it, kind of right in the middle of the worm. What you're going to do is you're going to take this hook, put it right through the center, like so. Push it down to the bottom. Then you're going to take the weed guard, and you're going to latch it, and then you're ready to go. And that's all there is to the wacky rig. When fishing in the dog days of summer and it's really hot, sometimes the bass like a little bit more of a subtle approach. That's where the wacky rig comes in, with your Senko style bait. With its soft action coming through the water and just barely wiggling through the water floating, it's something that they can just reach out there and grab. It's not something they're going to chase, it's not a reaction bait. They're just going to see it floating and go after it. And the way you're going to want to fish this is weightless. You're going to rig it up wacky rig style, and you're going to throw it out there and just let it sink. Watch your line and just let it sink until it hits the bottom. Then I normally let it sit there 15-20 seconds. Then what you're going to do is reel down, lift all the way up, and let it fall again. Let it hit the bottom, roll up your slack, and repeat, and work that all the way through the strike zone. Just that subtle reaction to this bait right here will get you a lot of bites in those high pressure situations when nothing else will. As we come to the end of this video, I hope you've decided to add these 3 new presentations to your bass fishing arsenal. I promise with a little work and a little practice, they're going to catch you more fish if used properly. And remember, stay safe and have fun out there. And if you enjoy the content of this video, click that like button. And if you want to learn more about us and our upcoming content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you guys, and y'all have a wonderful day.